Hey guys, so we have discussed already about the different methods and approaches of English language teaching. And amongst that, the other day we had a discussion about the direct method, in fact, and the direct method, which is otherwise called the natural method. So the natural method or the natural approach in which you can understand or you will be able to acquire a foreign language. In our case, it's English language. So how can you acquire English language using a direct method? So it's the most natural method in which the teachers and the facilitators are using, the methodologies and approaches in which a child acquires its, the mother tongue. How you'll be able to acquire mother tongue, those methodologies will be approached or will be applied here in the direct method as well. So it's kind of creating a situation of its own. It's creating a situation in which the learner or the student will have to cope up with or to understand language in the most natural method, in the natural manner, as in the case of a native speaker. So if you're a native speaker, how you will acquire language, it's the similar case in direct method as well. So language is being directly injected to the learner. That is happening in the direct method. So when that happens, uh, language will generally, or it's in the most natural manner, it will enter your brains and it will automatically come out when you speak, when you write, when you read, when you think. So that's the most natural method. The direct method is natural method. It's been applied everywhere right now, across the globe actually. That most of the English language teachers are using the direct method. And the advantage of direct method is that no grammar will be there. No grammar will be given stress. No stress will be there for grammar. So the teachers intentionally avoid grammar there, because if you learn grammar, if you learn the rules and regulations of grammar of language, then of course confusions will take place, and you will have a complete mess when you try to write or when you try to speak, you know, a book or about a book. That's happening. It's quite natural, because you have to follow certain rules. In that case, direct method, values the best, because you are learning language or you are acquiring the language in the most natural manner, without the biases or without the burdens of grammar, the strict rules of grammar. But on the other hand, as we have discussed, there is another method called the grammar translation method, the grammar translation method, the GT method. So today what we are going to do is that we're going to compare the direct method and the grammar translation method, and let's see which one is the best. We'll come to a conclusion in the end to understand or to finalize which method comes the best for English language teachers. All right, so basically there are five differences, or there are five types of differences when you compare grammar translation and the direct method. Because grammar translation is very old, it's a traditional style of teaching approach, especially in non-native English speaking countries, non-native countries. Because, say for example, in India, we are a non-native country wherein we don't have English as our mother tongue. So in that case, we were using this grammar translation method. Nowadays, our teachers are trying to use the direct method. So you might have understood the difference. Some kind of difference will be there. You might have felt the difference. So in the grammar translation method, what is happening is that the first and foremost thing is that mother tongue is being used to translate English. So if a teacher wants to teach you something from a book, for example in grammar also, the teacher has to deliver it to the students into in their mother tongue. She needs to transform or convert it into your mother tongue. Then only you'll be able to understand. That is grammar translation method. But on the other hand, in direct method, the teacher will never speak a single word or a single phoneme in your mother tongue, because the teacher intentionally has created a situation, an English speaking situation, for the learners to acquire language in the most natural manner. So there nothing is happening in mother tongue. The teacher will never speak in mother tongue, and the teacher will never insist the students to respond back in mother tongue. So natural flow of language is happening there. So the first one, in direct method, no mother tongue. In the other one, the grammar translation method, use of mother tongue, excessive use of mother tongue, because translating each and every word in English language to your mother tongue, that is grammar translation method. The second one, while in the direct method, the teachers or the facilitators give more importance to speech production, or communication in general, the part of pronunciation, how a learner can acquire English language with the right kind of pronunciation, with the neutral accent, a globally acclaimed, polished language. That is what the aim of an English teacher in the using the direct method. While on the other hand, what's happening there in the grammar translation method, it is giving importance to translation. That means you will have the ability to read a book, you will have the ability to write a note on any topic, but only after translating it into your mother tongue. As we have discussed it, thinking in your mother tongue and writing or speaking in English would be a real difficult situation. It is not possible actually. It is possible, but with a lot of mistakes. It is not the natural method. But if you would be able to think in English language and speak out or write in English language, then you will get the most natural outcome. So that is the major difference here. As I mentioned, in direct method, emphasis is on speech, emphasis is on pronunciation. The emphasis is based on communication, how you can communicate properly. Speaking or writing, both are ways of communicating, and speaking and writing is in the most natural manner. That is the advantage of the direct method. On the other hand, no communication is happening there, only translation is happening. So translate and communicate, mess, confusion will take place, definitely. All right, and the third major difference is that it's kind of, in direct method, it's kind of acquiring a language in the most childish manner. In direct method, how a child acquire a language, similarly in direct method, the learners have to acquire language in the natural manner, in the natural mode. That means the teacher will create a situation. The teacher will create a situation within the classroom so that the learners will be able to speak or write in the natural sense. That is it. That is the advantage, another advantage of direct method. While on the other hand, what's happening in the grammar translation? In the grammar translation, the natural way is avoided. It is kind of how an adult can incorporate language into his brain. That is happening there. So, using translation, by saying that of giving a word, translating it into your mother tongue, and asking that guy to memorize it. You need to memorize a lot of words in order to in order to improve your vocabulary. And the teachers used to say in the grammar translation method, read a lot of books, get some words, add to your vocabulary, use it. Grammar translation. You're translating from English to Malayalam or any other mother tongue, and keep it inside your brain. And when you're asked to speak out, what will happen? You will be absolutely mixed up. All right. So that's the third difference. The first one was child in a childish manner, or how a child acquire a language. The other one, in grammar translation, it is not natural how adults not acquiring or learning language using the strict rules of language. All right. And the fourth one, grammar. In direct method, the teacher or the facilitator asks the students to understand grammar using the method called inductive approach, wherein you will get a chance to understand grammar by yourself, because you have a very good situation in front of you. You've got a clear environment in front of you to understand grammar. You will have news coming in from there, you'll have music coming in from there, you'll have your friends speaking English, you're speaking in English, your teacher is speaking in English. You have a complete English atmosphere, so you'll be able to understand English in that manner. And when it comes to grammar, you will have to correct the mistakes which you have created in grammar by practicing it. By practicing it, you will try to understand, or you will definitely you will correct your mistakes which you have made. While on the other hand, in the grammar translation method, the teacher will give you a lot of exercises in grammar and will ask you to do it within the stipulated time, and you complete it and give it back to her. Once that is over, the teacher will correct the mistakes which you have done. There is nothing happening inductively. What is happening here? This is kind of deductive approach. It's deductive approach, wherein the teacher is correcting your mistakes. Where on the other hand, natural method, you are correcting your mistakes. That means when you correct your mistakes, your ability to understand that language improve. All right, that's the fourth one. And the last one, not the last one in general, but of course we should say that this is the last common difference between DM and the grammar translation method. In the direct method, the language is being taught by practice. The language is being used in a varieties of manner. Students and the learners will get ample time and chances to come out with innovative ideas to come up with use of language within the classroom, to explain, to intermingle among the friends, chit chat, to communicate among them. Things like a lot of such kind of activities will be happening in the classroom, and the learners will get a chance to speak out in public as well. So that's one of the most beautiful way of understanding or acquiring language. You are exposed to such a situation in which you learn language in the most natural manner. On the other hand, in the grammar way, in the grammar translation method, language will be taught to you using certain rules. The teacher will give you rules, the so-called subject verb object, the subject object verb, the object verb subject, the tenses, the nouns, the pronouns, the adjectives. These are the question tags. Things like that will be there in the grammar translation method. and teacher has to translate it into your mother tongue as well. So nothing naturally is happening there in the grammar translation method. All right. So those were the five, absolutely different, features of direct method and the grammar translation method. The advantage of direct method is that the teachers are giving you a chance to acquire the language using the foreign language teaching approach. It's kind of actually first language acquisition. Now, how you acquire a first language, how you acquire your first language or your mother tongue, in the most similar manner, you will be able to acquire a foreign tongue as well. See the difference? See the difference between grammar translation and direct method? So you might have understood the idea that direct method is a perfect method of language teaching, English language teaching. And as I mentioned before, the target language within the classroom should be in English language. The target language should be English, not your mother tongue. What happens when you use a lot of mother tongue, not lot of, at least 1% of a mother tongue in the class? The students or the learners are listening to your mother tongue. What's happening there? Your brain will revert back using the mother tongue. You will also try to speak back or respond back to your teacher in the mother tongue. But if the teacher insists you to speak to the teacher back to you in English, then definitely you will speak to them back in English. Be it mistakes. It's not a big deal that you make a lot of mistakes while speaking or while writing, because it's understood that the teacher and the student understood that they have a clear idea that both the teacher and the student are not native language speakers, native English language speakers. So it is understood. Nothing is going to happen there. The mistakes will happen. But next time when you create mistakes, you will have to correct it yourself. There comes the natural method or the direct method, the application of direct method. All right. And another advantage of direct method is that it gives more attention and emphasis on communication, especially pronunciation, the right kind of pronunciation, the right kind of using stress, intonation, the rhythm, and things like that when you use English language. And if you give stress and intonation to a word, of all the words in English language, then you will be able to impart the right meaning and attitude to the receiver. That's only when the communication will have a positive note, will end up in a positive note. Whatever you say is in English language, if the students or the learners not be able to understand it properly, there is no use of blasting out in the classroom. So if you give stress to your language, the students would be able to understand it in the most natural manner. All right. The role of the teacher in the grammar translation method is not very active, because teacher here in the grammar translation method is acting as it's kind of intermediary link between the student as well as the institute. So in between institute and the student, in the grammar translation method, the teacher works as an intermediary link just to complete the formalities. But in the direct method, the teacher is very active. The teacher has to be very active. The teacher has to give you corrections, in the sense the natural kind of corrections. The inductive approach should be there from the teacher. Teacher has to give you, situations. They have to create situations for you to speak out, to express, to communicate, to articulate the correct mode of English, using English language. Okay, so those are some of the key differences between direct translation method, direct method and the grammar translation methods. So hope you all understood the topic very well. So let's discuss about it in detail later, or we'll have a little bit of chit chat when we meet next time, and we'll discuss about the other methods as well. Thank you so much and have a good day.